Sarah makes $72,000 a year. She should be building wealth. Instead, she's trapped in a cycle that drains $836 from her account every single month. It's not student loans, it's not her mortgage. It's sitting in her driveway right now. And chances are, you have the same problem. What's up? I'm Sean, and around here, we don't finance our future away one monthly payment at a time. Look, I get it. The automotive industry has spent billions convincing you that you deserve that new car smell, that you've earned those heated seats, and that a 6-year loan is just part of being an adult. But here's what they're not telling you. That car payment isn't just a monthly expense. It's a wealth extraction machine designed to keep the middle class running in place. If this is your first time here, hit that subscribe button and turn on notifications because we're going to break down exactly how the automotive industry and the banks have teamed up to create the most socially acceptable form of financial self-sabotage in America. And if you're already part of this community, smash that like button. It tells me you're ready to think differently about money. Let's get into it. Let me tell you about my buddy Marcus. Marcus graduated college in 2018 with a marketing degree and landed a decent job making $55,000 a year. First thing he did, traded in his perfectly functional 2009 Honda Civic for a brand new 2018 Ford F-150. Financed the whole thing, $42,000 at 6.5% interest over 72 months. I need to look successful to be successful, he told me. His payment, $683 a month. Now, Marcus isn't dumb. He's actually one of the smartest people I know, but he fell for the same trap that 65 million other Americans are stuck in right now. Yeah, you heard that right. 65 million Americans are currently making car payments. Here's the math that nobody wants you to do. Marcus's truck payment, $683 a month. Insurance on a new truck, $220 a month. That's $903 disappearing every single month. Over the 6 years of that loan, Marcus will pay $49,176 for a truck cost $42,000. That's $7,176 in interest alone. But here's the real kicker. The moment he drove that truck off the lot, it lost $8,400 in value. 20% gone in 60 seconds. So in year one, Marcus paid about $8,200 toward the truck and lost $8,400 in depreciation. He spent money to lose money. But the damage doesn't stop there. See, that $683 a month isn't just $683. It's $683 that could have been invested. If Marcus had kept his old Civic and invested that $683 into a basic index fund averaging 10% returns, after 6 years, he'd have about $62,000. Instead, he has a 6-year-old truck worth maybe $20,000. That's a $42,000 difference. That's the real cost of looking successful. And here's the rebellious truth nobody wants to say out loud. The car in your driveway is probably the biggest obstacle between you and financial freedom. So, how did we get to a place where the average car payment in America is $736 a month? How did we normalize spending nearly $900 a month on a depreciating asset? Let me take you back. In the 1950s and 60s, cars were expensive, but people saved up and paid cash, or they took out 2, maybe 3-year loans. The idea of being in debt for a car for 6, 7, even 8 years would have seemed absolutely insane. But then, something shifted in the 1980s and really accelerated in the 2000s. Car manufacturers realized something brilliant, and by brilliant, I mean diabolical. They figured out that people don't think in terms of total cost. We think in monthly payments. Can I afford the payment became the only question that mattered. So they started stretching loans, first to 4 years, then 5, then 6. Now, 72 and 84-month loans are standard. I've even seen 96-month loans. That's 8 years of payments on something that starts falling apart at year 5. And here's where it gets really predatory. They introduced the trade-in cycle. Let me introduce you to Jessica. Real person, friend of a friend. Jessica bought a new Chevy Equinox in 2019. $35,000, 60 months at 5.9%. Payment, $671 a month. 3 years in, she's at a cookout, and someone mentions the new models have better safety features. She starts thinking, my daughter just started driving, maybe I should get something safer. She goes to the dealership just to look. The salesman runs the numbers. Good news, we can get you into a brand new 2022 model. Your payment only goes up $40 a month. Sounds reasonable, right? Here's what actually happened. Jessica still owed $18,000 on her old car, but it was only worth $15,000 in trade-in value. That's $3,000 in negative equity. She's underwater. The dealership rolled that $3,000 into her new loan. So now she's financing a $48,000 car plus the $3,000 she still owed on the old car, $41,000. They stretched it to 72 months to keep the payment low at $710. Jessica will now be making car payments for the next 6 years, and when she's done, the car will be worth maybe 14 grand. This is the cycle, and it's designed this way. The average American now trades in their car every 4 to 6 years, almost always rolling negative equity into the new loan. We've created a system where people are perpetually in car debt, perpetually underwater, forever chasing a payment they can afford. The banks love it, the dealerships love it, the manufacturers love it, but it's absolutely devastating to the middle class. Let's get analytical here, because this is where it really hurts. The median household income in America is about $74,000. The average car payment is $736. That means the average American household is spending nearly 12% of their gross income before taxes on car payments alone. Add in insurance, gas, and maintenance, and transportation costs eat up 20 to 25% of the average middle-class budget. 1/4 of your income. Now imagine an alternative universe. Same person, same income, but they make a different choice. Instead of buying new, they buy a 3-year-old certified used car for cash, or with a minimal loan they pay off in 2 years. Let's say they spend 15 grand instead of 40. They invest the difference. That $736 a month goes into a Roth IRA. After 10 years, assuming a modest 9% return, they'd have about $141,000. After 20 years, nearly $493,000. After 30 years, over $1.3 million. One choice, one vehicle decision. The difference between retiring comfortably and working until you're 75. Let me tell you about my neighbor, Robert. He's 62. He's driven used Toyota Camrys his entire adult life. Never spent more than 12 grand on a car. Never had a payment longer than 2 years. Everyone in the neighborhood used to joke about cheap Robert and his boring cars. Robert retired last year at 61. He's worth $2.3 million. Meanwhile, his neighbor Dave, nice guy, always had the nicest cars on the block, Lexuses, BMWs, always new. Dave is 64 and just told Robert he's going to have to work at least 5 more years, maybe 10. 2 men, similar incomes over their careers, radically different outcomes. The difference? Robert understood something that Dave never figured out. Your car is not an investment. It's not an asset. It's a tool. And expensive tools don't make you more money. They just make you look productive while you go broke. Here's the rebellious part. We've been conditioned to see frugality as weakness. We've been taught that the successful person drives the nice car, wears the nice watch, lives in the impressive house. But you know what actual wealthy people know? The car you drive has almost nothing to do with your net worth. In fact, there's often an inverse relationship. The millionaires I know, most of them drive paid-off cars that are 5 to 10 years old. They understand that looking wealthy and being wealthy are 2 completely different games. So why do we do this? Why do intelligent, educated, hardworking Americans keep making the same financial mistake over and over? Because car purchases are emotional, not rational. Think about the last time you went car shopping. The new car smell, the technology, the salesperson complimenting your choice, the feeling of sitting in that driver's seat, imagining yourself behind the wheel. Now think about what you weren't feeling. The weight of 72 monthly obligations, the opportunity cost of invested returns, the stress of negative equity. The car industry has mastered emotional selling. They don't sell cars, they sell identity, status, safety, and success. You deserve this. You've worked hard. This is what successful people drive. Your family deserves the best protection. And my personal favorite, your current car is going to start needing repairs soon. Wouldn't you rather have a payment on something new than spend money fixing something old? Let me address this one head on because it's pure manipulation. A $1,200 repair on a paid-off car is annoying. A $736 monthly payment for 6 years is $53,000. You could replace your entire engine every single year and still come out ahead. But the repair feels like a crisis. The payment feels manageable. That's the psychological trap. Here's another one. Interest rates are low, so you might as well take advantage. Taking on debt isn't taking advantage of anything. The bank isn't doing you a favor, they're making money off you, just slightly less than they used to. And here's the really insidious part. Car payments have become so normalized that we don't even question them anymore. What's your payment is the first question people ask, not how much did you pay, not how much debt are you taking on. We've been conditioned to think in monthly payments, and that psychological shift has cost the American middle class literally trillions of dollars. All right, here's the good news. You can break this cycle. It's not easy, but it's simple. Step 1. If you currently have a car payment, become obsessed with eliminating it. Not comfortable with it, not used to it, obsessed with killing it. Every extra dollar goes to that car loan. Side hustle? Car loan. Tax refund? Car loan. That $200 you were going to spend on concert tickets? I know it hurts, but car loan. Get out from under that payment as fast as humanly possible. Step 2. Once it's paid off, keep making the payment to yourself. This is critical. You're already used to that money being gone. Keep it gone, but this time into a high-yield savings account labeled Next Car. In 2 to 3 years, you'll have enough to buy your next car in cash. Step 3. Buy boring cars that hold their value. Use Toyota Camry, Honda Accord, Mazda 3, 3 to 5 years old with 30,000 to 50,000 miles. You know what these cars have in common? They're reliable, cheap to maintain, and they'll last 200,000 plus miles if you take care of them. You know what they don't have? Prestige, sex appeal, impressive brand names, and that's exactly why they'll make you wealthy. Step 4. Drive it until the wheels fall off. 10 years, 15 years. I don't care if the paint is fading and the seats are worn. If it runs reliably, keep driving it. Every year you drive a paid-off car is a year you're winning the wealth-building game. Listen, I know this isn't sexy advice. I know you're not going to get Instagram likes posting your 2014 Honda Civic. But you know what is sexy? A retirement account with $500,000 in it. A net worth that grows every month instead of shrinking. Financial peace. Options. Freedom. That's sexy. Look, here's the bottom line. The car industry and the banking system have created a machine that's extraordinarily effective at extracting wealth from the middle class. They've made it socially acceptable, even expected, to be in permanent car debt. But you don't have to play that game. Every wealthy person I know has figured out the same secret. The less money you waste on things that depreciate, the more money you have to invest in things that appreciate. Your car gets you from point A to point B. That's it. It doesn't define your worth. It doesn't determine your success. And it sure as hell shouldn't determine whether you can retire. So, here's your homework. Calculate what you're really spending on your vehicle. Include the payment, insurance, depreciation, everything. Then calculate what that same money would be worth if you invested it instead. If that number doesn't piss you off, you're not paying attention. If you got value from this video, subscribe and hit that notification bell. We're building a community of people who refuse to stay broke doing what everyone else does. Drop a comment and let me know, what are you driving and what's your car story? I'm Sean, and remember, we don't finance our future away one monthly payment at a time. I'll see you in the next one.